Okay. Let's see here. We got time for one more question, and then we're gonna take a break. Okay. All right. And this is a long one, but I'm gonna try to get through it quickly because I have a very concise opinion about it. Okay, this question is from Hazard. Hazard returns to Ask the King with another pertinent question. He says, "Hey Phil, with the treatment of female characters in gaming becoming now a topic of discussion within the YouTube gaming community recently, thanks to the likes of Anita Sarkeesian, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her name, and her kickstarted series Tropes versus Women in Video Games, I can't help but notice a distinct lack of main female characters in most blockbuster games and films. Also, when there are female main characters, they often lack significance for their own merit, only having significance because maybe they're the love interest of a main or title character, or I understand what he's saying. Then he goes on and he says, "Don't get me wrong, I understand the nature of demographics, and I understand the need to market games for a certain audience and design the game for that audience from the very beginning. However, the most important thing to me when it comes down to it is that it has an excellently written story regardless of the gender of the characters. A game with a female main character is no less appealing to me than a male main character, and as such, I'd love to see more games designed with a female character in mind while avoiding shoehorning in female characters, jamming them into the plot just for the sake of being politically correct. I was wondering whether you had any thoughts on the matter, being as you are someone who primarily enjoys story above all else in a video game." All right. Now, I don't know anything about the series Tropes versus Women in Video Games. As everyone knows, I've said this since the day I started. I'm too busy with my own stuff to watch other people's videos, so I don't know nothing about this series. I don't know if it's good or bad. I hope it's good. Here's my feeling on the matter. And I've actually talked about this previously, but I have some interesting takes on it now from recent happenings in the video game world. Video games primarily were seen as a geeky, nerdy thing for males. Really. At the beginning of the whole video game culture, that's what it was. Geeky, nerdy dudes will play these games, and it's for just for male demographic. Then, of course, it evolved. Oh, well, now it's starting to become a more popular thing. So it's for the male demographic, but now it's not geeky or nerdy anymore. Now it's violent and bloody. So then the game started moving into more violent first-person shooters. Games like Mortal Kombat, things like that. Oh, it's all about male-dominated violence and that kind of stuff. But recently, I'd say the past 5 years, we've finally seen a shift where games are changing and they're becoming way different than they used to be. Now, if you actually take the demographics of people who play games, you'll find that females are actually at the all-time high for their percentage of the pie of females who are playing video games. And I think it's, first of all, obviously it's because everyone's on this thing. Everyone's playing their mobile games, women, men, everyone. So obviously, when everyone owns one of these and everyone's playing a mobile game, they count that into the statistic. But I don't think it's just that. I actually think it's the fact that we've had more adult-oriented stories, games that are trying to reach new artistic heights, games with serious plot lines with characters that it doesn't matter what sex they are. You're there for the character and the story. You're not there because there's a girl with giant heaving titties. You know what I mean? And it is sad because in previous... think of popular female characters over the years in video games. Samus Aran, who you never saw because she was in a robot suit, so it could have been a dude. It's regardless of what they tell you is in the suit. Samus Aran was like covered up. Anyone who was like a female lead was like Princess Toadstool or Peach. Oh, the victim complex, always getting kidnapped, not a very strong character. When you had a strong female lead, oh, Lara Croft in Tomb Raider. By the way, look at the size of her fucking huge tits. It's ridiculous. And it was like, well, if you're going to have a strong female protagonist, she has to be a sex pot, and because that'll appeal to the dudes. And it's like, you get to the point where you get fed up. And I have to say, in recent years, games like Mass Effect, where your main character can be female. You can make her look however you want. She doesn't have to have giant fucking titties. The fact that the game has strong female lead characters that you have the choice whether or not you want to romance, right? You don't have to. And those characters are there for the story, not because they're just your romantic interest. So that series in particular, I think, was a huge advancement when it comes to females having leading roles in games and not being there just for sexual preference or to be a love interest and stuff like that. What about the reboot of Tomb Raider, where the main character looks like a real freaking woman, and she's a badass. She goes out, she can fight toe-to-toe with any of the guys in the game, right? These are just a few small examples. Recently, you had games such as The Last of Us. One of the main characters is this girl who becomes extremely self-reliant and resilient. And even though, yeah, there's a little bit of a victim complex because she is a girl, but she fights back. She actually kills people. There's crazy things in the story that happens where she's an incredibly strong, believable character. Or what about Jodie from Beyond Two Souls? The whole game's about this girl who her whole life's struggling with this supernatural ability. She gets trained to become a main character. And of course, yes, they have to have the typical, oh no, she's going to try to romance the dude, but she's not a sex pot. She's not half naked for the game. She's a believable female character. So what I think is happening is that as game developers are making games, they're realizing now, if we're going to become more artistic, if we're going to become the next level, and we really want to be taken seriously, we have to get rid of that sexist bullshit stereotype from the past. We have to escape from that, because yeah, we made our money in the 90s doing that, right? In the early 2000s, but it's time to put that behind us, and it's time for us to move forward and realize it's more about equality, it's more about strong female leads. I'm hoping we're going to see a lot more games with strong female leads, and I think that they're actually, in a lot of ways, entertaining, even more entertaining, because I'm tired of games about this big, roided dude, and I am the superhero, and I can do unbelievable feats because I'm a man, and I fight, and I'm tough, big macho bullshit. It gets to the point where when every game's like that, you don't care anymore, you know? So yeah, at least in that regard, I think we're heading in the right direction. We have seen some change recently that's positive, and I'm hoping that this pattern's going to continue, all right? Okay.
Okay, now this I like. Keep going. Oh my God, she's wearing a fucking bikini. What is going on?
The name's Eva.
Yeah! Yeah! That was great. Motorboat time. Give me a kiss goodbye, baby.
I'll bet if I kissed you, you'd taste like a wild beast.
Oh, why don't you taste my wild beast then? I'm like Pac-Man. I'm gonna humma you.
Where exactly in Rosnerad Sokolov is located?
Come on.
He's
Was like a mother and my master.
and your lover?
Oh, yes.
It went deeper than that.
Oh, I went deeper than that.
Boss.
I was fucking mining for gold.
No, nothing like that.
Do you hate
Yes.
Precious little pet.
I'm more comfortable with it than I am with a bra.
You're more comfortable with
If
that
we're
than
gonna
you
go
are
to
with
the
a
north, we'll have
bra.
to go through the commander's
Wow.
room on this floor.
Butch Dyke
The overland
much?
route is
All that's left for you to take is my life. By your own hand.
All right, shut up and I'll do it right now.
One must die, and one must live. No victory, no defeat.
Even Snake looks
The
bored.
survivor
Look at him. He's like, what the
will be
fuck?
on
Shut
the
up.
In China, they say, rashness brings success to few.
In China, they say, Chiki Chang Wang Charlie Chan Chika Chaka Choka Cha. In China, they say, cat very delicious. Owned, bitch.
Moving a muscle.
Yeah, well, now you can wait for the gates of hell to open and take your fucking soul because you're dead, bitch. Please piss on me. It is my last request.
Quick
Go ahead, piss right on my face. I love it.
to take my revenge on the world.
Now, remember what I said earlier in the game. If this ever happened in real life, when they went to talk, I'd put my gun in their mouth and pull the fucking trigger. I don't want to hear your shit.
I have
Boom!
shamed myself.
Brains everywhere.